Welcome, everyone, to October 3rd, 2023. We're doing the world session. And today we're going to focus on stuck energy that might produce low energy. It can also produce a lot of tension on the head, a feeling of, heaviness, of weight, of kind of dragging your feet. You don't really want to get out of bed. So some areas of the planet we're in fall, autumn, and others, the southern hemisphere is in spring. So, when we look at both sides of the hemisphere and people experiencing the same kind of thing, it's not going to relate necessarily to the seasons, but we can use the season to help us move things. So, northern hemisphere, you can focus on sort of the idea of autumn and our ability to harvest, to also let go, to toss things out. And in the southern hemisphere, where spring is coming in, you're rejuvenating, you're coming back to life. So there's going to be a different focus when we're looking at exactly how our energy, creative energy, and movement. So as soon as I say creative energy and movement, so I, along with many people, have been experiencing sort of this tension on the top of the head, and it's kind of reducing, or feels like it takes more energy for me to do anything. I'm not as lively as I was last week or even just 2 days ago. I don't feel as energized. So we're going to work through that. Sometimes you can explain low energy by, well, I've done a lot, so then you have low energy. That's one explanation. Please, if you've done a lot for a long time, a week, and you're active, you're doing a lot of things, and then all of a sudden you have a low moment of energy, use that to take care of yourself. Don't start using this session to, amp up your energy and then start doing something damaging to yourself. So this session has a fail safe. It's not going to allow you to do it, but it's not something you should expect. That's also very stressful on the body mind. All right, so let's start with a simple thing is to get the brain to just kind of uncontort so that it allows the middle passage of the cerebrospinal fluid to move. So as soon as I do that, I'm feeling a pressure sort of on the top of the skull, right at in here is our seventh chakra. And I can feel that spot, especially the Sushumna comes out there, the pranic tube exits here. There's a lot of stuff. I want to get that moved a little bit. I'm just going to have it move. So you might want to put your hand on the top of your head if you like, and just experience, how nice it is that the brain can have space. So here's the brain, and then you have the heart in its own cavity. So the brain is in the cranium. It's surrounded by, dura mater, pia mater, your arachnoid plexus. You got blood-brain barrier. You got membranes. You got all kinds of stuff keeping your brain in place. But the brain needs space. It needs enough space. You don't want to have excess fluid. You don't want to have excess toxins sitting around. So we just want to loosen all that up so it starts to move and you allow that energy to move. Okay, so as I'm bringing my hands down and allowing that energy to move, I just kind of got a tension right through. This is the right side. Now, doesn't mean you're going to experience what I experienced. Please remember that. But, if you do notice, we're just going to go into the kidney meridian. So kidney is often linked to linked to energy. You can have your energy drain out of your kidneys. And I'm just going to move the kidney meridian a little bit just by movement. So remember, movement is critical in our lives, right? If we're not moving, we're not thinking properly. The more we move, the more we even moving in ways that are very, very simple for the body, not pushing the body, just very simple. So really think about the simplicity of moving an arm. It doesn't even, you can think here you have your arm sitting here like this. And how much does it want to move? Well, you can see that's all my arm wants to move, or my hand wants to move. It's going up very little. This really, if you've taken Feldenkrais, you know that these little movements really do a lot for the body mind. You see these huge changes post Feldenkrais. So, that's something you might want to do. So I'm just moving the spine. I'm down at the right hand side over the ilium, and just going up through where the psoas connects, and just allowing that release again to release the spinal cord, spinal column, cerebrospinal fluid. So you might get a little, there we go, a little burp coming up, because you can just feel the body, brain, head brain, heart brain, and now the gut brain is coming in to help connect. So in our little group, somebody talked about creative energy, not feeling creative, which is really fascinating because I felt very creative these days. But every time I go to, work on my creative project, my head gets congested. So here we go, two different ways is, how is that creative energy flowing within the body mind, within each cell, within all three brains, within the nervous system, and in the whatever you would consider creative in the body? I'm going to look at second chakra. I'm going to look at the there's a granthi or knot down in the second chakra. Maybe just loosen up that granthi. It's called the Brahma Granthi, and we're going to just loosen that up a little bit. I can almost feel it into, the ovaries, and if I were a man, I would feel it maybe in my prostate, base of the genitals, connection of the genitals to the testes, that whole area sort of coming in. And then for females, of course, a little bit deeper, but feeling into, it's definitely fallopian tubes and ovaries coming up. So yes, we have this creative energy that you might say is in the uterus, but there's also creativity in the right brain. But we got to also figure that creativity is really in the masculine. And that's going to be the third eye, the upper chakra. So we already started with this crown chakra, and we go into the third eye chakra for vision and insight. And we want to get the yin within yang. So right brain, the yang that exists in the yin, and then also in the left brain, even though it's the linear logical brain. So much of creativity is really this ability to see things in a very, very different way, a very different perspective. So artists, if you've not been an artist quite like me, I'm not an artist, never good at drawing, but I did take drawing classes. And it was so interesting that I could trick my brain. This is a great book, The Art of Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain. If you ever want to trick your brain to be able to draw something, you'll be absolutely stunned. There's still a lot of work that needs to be done after you draw something, but they take these pictures and you turn them upside down and you start drawing, and you will make quite a lovely design because you've tricked or lovely picture because you've tricked your brain. And as you can see, I'm working with the second chakra, I'm working with the brain, and I'm getting a little congestion in the throat, right? So here's the expression of that artistry. So I can even feel right now in my own body mind that as I'm trying to create something using left and right brain, and with a lot of belief systems that I have, and those belief systems are, I cannot draw, I cannot create, even though I know for a fact there are ways to trick my brain. But this idea of being a natural artist and seeing the world in a natural way still induces a lot of belief systems for me. Okay. So interesting. I'm fascinated how much is in the ability of the throat to express. Okay. So we're going to work with the upper three chakras, as I said, crown chakra, That's to spirit, to Father Sky, as we say. Here's insight. And then the throat chakra takes us to expression. Those are the three we're going to work with. And we want to bring it into the heart. And we're working with the three brains as well. So one of the focuses that we asked for was energy, and I'm not directly going to energy levels. I'm working with things that are very different. And so let's see, we'll see what your feedback is or what you notice from this session that brings or lifts off the pressure, the heaviness. So even just having those belief systems in me, I'm already feeling, this connection. My head is much lighter than it's been in 48 hours. I feel my lower back moving on the right side, the left side not quite. And usually that's my more fluid side. So fascinating. So we're just going to go there and balance out the two sides of the spine. I'm just going to see the whole spine balancing left to right and then each vertebrae. Also the sits bones, the SI joints, and then also I'm seated right now on the sits bones, but I'm now imagining I'm standing up. And while I stand up, ankles, the knees, and the hips, and the whole alignment also into the shoulders. So I'm going to just running a lot of the reciprocals. Now, I'm not liking the way I'm breathing. I keep inhaling through my mouth. So something's still stressed in there. I'm just looking for what this stress is. It feels like I'm going to go back to barometric pressure and the regulation of all of our homeostatic, like things that keep homeostasis in the brainstem and the hypothalamus. So that'll be blood pressure, temperature, heart rate, etc. And we're going to connect it to the cardiovascular system, and also temperature regulation. Okay, so that's a big one. So I was also wondering if we needed to do a latent virus in our bodies. So some of you might have a virus right now. This is going to help you. But I'm looking at latent virus that might come up in the immune system, and the immune system battles it. But it's not like you're getting the symptoms. You don't have fever, or you don't have mucus or anything like that, or nausea, but you feel as though there's a precursor to a cold. I would say this is kind of a vibration in some of us, not everyone, by the way. Not all of these sessions involve everyone, but that we have those viruses in the body that the immune system isn't dealing with. So we just want to get the immune system to focus on those things. So there are a lot of things that are coming up that I'm not going to say on YouTube. Not that I have any I'm not monetized or anything, but I don't want to be, or this video to be kicked off. So you probably can imagine what I'm working with at the moment. So just breathe. So I don't know if you saw that. A lot of things happen without my volition here. I noticed I was breathing in through my mouth. That last link came right in through my nose. I can already feel a clearing in the passages. Let's do ears. Sometimes we get irritants. We can get virus. We can get water. We can get dust. We can get all kinds of stuff in the ears. I'm focusing for myself. You can focus on your own. I'm focusing for myself where I get allergens in my ears. They get really, really itchy. But you could focus on dust, when those particles move. And also the other one is to get, I want to work with the Fibonacci golden mean and the structure of the tympan and the and the bones all through the ear canal, just to get them seated properly. So that the two sides are um, somehow, when we're listening, there we go. I don't even know what to say, but that burp said everything. When we're listening, we're hearing in harmony, let's say. The two sides are working in harmony. Okay, now even that, I don't know if you're not watching, my head is moving, and all of a sudden I'm just feeling that this earpiece here is is um is linking into yours might not be on the right side, mine's definitely on the right side, where that trapezius muscle is contracting. So listening, throat chakra, hearing, contracting, brain, the temporal lobes, the connection of the lobes, we're bringing all that beautiful stuff together. Oh yeah, and there you go. I breathed in through my nose. Finally, there's a loosening. I'm still feeling the allergens of the season, some phlegm coming in. So let's work with some of those allergens. There could be dust in your home. There could be mold in your home. There could be, mites, too many mites in your home. There could be mites in your bed, right? There's so many that go into our mattresses and pillows and all kinds of stuff. Okay, that one, if you noticed, I just inhaled through my mouth. So that's not so good. So I'm just tuning into all of these different, from mold to mites to, all the bugs that are out there, plus all of the allergens. Whoa, it's making me fall asleep now too. So my eyes are just kind of like closing. So there are some really intense allergens that can actually knock you out. So even if you haven't been tested and it's not an allergen to you, really, really consider. We got a little squirrel on the window here, just came up. Another one of the things I'm allergic to, little furry squirrels. He's sitting here just looking. There he goes. That's really funny to be joined by a squirrel. I didn't even know they would come up this high and sit on the ledge. In any case, so just noticing, so that really helped me notice that the external allergens, they're going to come in your house. Some people, have air conditioning and, all kinds of filtration. That still doesn't mean you don't have allergens in your house. So notice that. Right now, I'm getting this kind of taste in my mouth. So I think that's really linked to, look at my eyes. So every time I'm tuning into these allergens, my eyes are starting to close and I feel like I just want to go to sleep. So a lot of that has to do with one of the themes that we came up with today, which was low energy. And if you saw me again, I breathed in through my mouth. So I don't know what to do with this. What are we going to do? Let's just start with mouth saliva, put it in your navel, and let your navel decide what we're going to work with allergy wise. And we're just going to start getting the brain to notice it. Anything from virus, microbes, bacteria, fungus, pollutants, toxins, intolerances, and allergens. Okay, now my eyes are opening up, but my abdomen is really feeling like, oh, I don't know what to do. So we're going to work with the epithelium of the small intestine. Small intestine is is one of those hollow organs, and what we want to do is get that small intestine and the mucin on the small intestine to ensure that when this stuff is moving through the body, it's coated by the mucin. And there we go. Another nasal breath just came in, and that ends our session. Thank you so much, everyone, and enjoy. And we will see you next week. Bye.